Thank you. Thank you. Is that's pretty hot. Is my opera singer here tonight? Huh? Okay. I will need you. I will need you. Would you come and sit right here, please? I shall need you. Molly and Emma, we will need you guys in this first offering.
I know why you're doing this. Because you went to Michigan State.
And she went to U of M, and I'm getting my revenge. Come sit, my dear. Okay, we got two cellos. We have a singer. If Jeff, if the bongos seem appropriate later on, we'll do this. Now, I want you to help me here. I want you to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go. 1. Excellent. Now, do this. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3. Do it again. 1, 2, 3. You know what that's called? Called the pentatonic scale. There's only 5 notes, and then you get back to. Now that's very important because that's where we're going to start our improvising tonight. It's the easiest way to improvise because you can't sing a wrong note. The notes all go together. So let's go over it now. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8. Okay, 1, 2, 2, 2. Keep that texture in your mind. Words. My soul, my heart belongs to you. My soul, my heart belongs to you. I'm going to ask you to sing it in a bit. Now, you are the Metropolitan Opera Chorus. So, what I'd like for you to do is begin on the NG sound. And some people hum this note. Some people hum. And just keep the humming going. That's gorgeous. Just keep it going. Keep it going. Matthew, where are you?
Over here.
Sing My Heart, My Soul Belongs to You in pentatonic scale, please.
My heart, my soul belongs to you.
Answer him, please.
What did you do?
You don't-
My soul belongs to you.
Doesn't matter. Answer him.
My heart belongs to you.
That's good, that's good, that's good. Now keep the humming going, people. Give the chorus. Matthew, my mind is yours.
My mind is yours.
Answer him.
My mind is at home.
Matthew, go.
My heart and soul, my heart belongs to you.
Answer him. Answer him.
Mine, oh, do it again.
Answer him. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's yours, not his.
Oh,
Anything.
anything.
My heart belongs to you.
My heart belongs to you.
Matthew, go. Anything.
My heart, my soul, my all belongs to you.
Answer him. Anything. Cello interlude. Molly, you get the first one. Emma, answer. No, I don't want to hear that B. All I want to hear is C, D, E, G, A. No B's, please. Molly, another one, please. Yeah, and Emma, let me have a nice answer now and on the lower strings. Hummers. La, 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 la 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 la. Keep it going. I need you, Matt. Answer. Jeff. Now we're going to have a little interlude where the soprano soloist is talking to the guy that she really wants to be her lover. And she's trying to seduce him. And what would she sing if she were seducing him? What? Well, okay. There's lots of seduction. Think Song of Solomon. So what would she sing?
She would say, you are so...
But she's got to sing it.
You are so...
Keep going. You're being very seductive. What else would she sing? La, 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 la. Matthew, you are the lover who's going to reject her. And the chorus gets to end, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh yeah. One more time. Give yourselves a hand. Okay. Now you said you wanted to sing your own song. You just did.
I did.
You got to start. And okay, let's talk about this. Thank you. You're done. Okay. Here's the first thing to learn about improvising. Now, keep this in your head. Everybody is improvising all the time. Amen. Every word you say is part of an improvisation. If I ask you what you had for breakfast, you don't have to say, well, let's see now, I'm going to answer. And then my first word has to be it should be a pronoun. Let's see. Let me see if I can find you, he, she, I. I guess I'll use I. Okay. So then the second word is going to be a verb. I slept, I worked, I trembled, I ate. I ate. I'll do that one. That's not what you do. You simply answer very simply. And the reason that you answer is because, number one, you know the language, correct? You know the language and you know the rules of that language. You know what has to go here, what has to go first, what has to go next. You've heard it so long, you have intuited all the rules. That's the heart of any kind of improvisation. You learn the rules of the language. You intuit the rules. Now, you've been speaking all your life, so you know the rules of spoken language. It's very, very easy. The same thing happens with music. So, for example, if you know, if the language we're speaking right now is a language that has only 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Sing them again. 1, 2, 3, 5. Now, there's a lot of songs that use that scale. Think of it. It would be really bad if you had. Ooh, no, please, right? Everybody knows that this language has only 5 notes, and once you know that, then you can, as long as you use those notes, you can never go wrong. It's the same kind of thing. I do it with kids with black keys. I say, you can play any black key you want. And they'll all go together because the black keys are that 5-note scale. So if you ever want to have fun and pretend you're a really hot piano player, get in front of a bunch of people and say, okay, you can sing these notes, da, 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 and I'll play the accompaniment. Boy, you're good. How did you learn to do that? Man, that's so fancy. Oh, that's a pretty chord. How did you learn to do that? Well, it's pretty simple, friends. So, knowing the rules of the language, that's the first thing. And then the second thing is, you need to feel free to experiment. You need to feel free to just give it a shot. Like the people who were in our first, our operatic singer said, I've never been able to sing my own song. I've always had to, sing from the score. Well, here she was making an attempt, and a valiant one, at singing her own responses. She could go ahead and knowing that pentatonic scale, she could probably go ahead and create her own song. I love you in the morning, I love you at night. I love you when the moon is shining bright. Na, 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 na. She could create her own song, and you could too. Knowing those 5 notes. And you also know, you have a sense, because you've heard music all your life, you have a sense of what works. So that she was, and the cellists were doing the same thing. She was rising at the point where she needed to rise, right? And then she was ending, da 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 da. She was ending at the point where she needed to end. She knew that was the way it needed, that prime languages. And look at how some of those rules would operate. Sing this. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a really weird language, right? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. One, two, three, five. So those notes are part of what we call the blues language. Now, actually, there are some more sophisticated things about the blues language, which we're not going to go into, like the flat 3 and all that. But for the time being, let's sing this scale, and then let's see what we can do. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, also, the chords that we play we'll play what we call 7th chords. Here's here's a nice standard major chord. Now, if I add this, that changes the whole character of the chord. So, sing this with me. I got a feeling. I've got a feeling. Ain't nobody gonna get me down. You get the feel of that language? It's quite different, isn't it, from... Quite different. Let's do some more. Someone come and tell me, hot in the summer, where can I get cool? Somebody tell me. Okay, get the feeling of that language in your head, because we're gonna do a little blues here, and now there's a whole form to the classic blues, which we won't get into. I'll say it briefly for those of us who are musicians. You probably know this, but there's what we call the 12-bar blues. Now, if you're not a musician, don't worry. Just let that go over your head. But if you're a musician, Emma, you know what 12-bar blues is? Kind of. Okay, let's get it. We'll get it straight. You have 4 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3. Now the first measure is going to be based on what we call the 1 chord. In the key of C, that's the chord that starts on C. And we're going to add a 7th to it. We're going to add a B flat, which gives it that particular kind of. Now the second measure is going to be on the chord that we call the 4 chord. In the key of C, 1, here's the first note, 1, here's the second note, 2, the third note, 3, the fourth note. The fourth note is an F, and we're going to have a chord based on that note. And again, we're going to add this little tweaky. Oh, wow, okay. And then we're going to go back to our C chord for 2 more measures. So we get 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So watch. Da 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 da. Sing that with me. Here we go. Ready? Da 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 da. And then we're going to do 4 measures of the 4 chord, Emma. So it's da 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 da. I mean 2 measures of the 4 chord. Da 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 da. Back to C. Da 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 da. And then Emma, we're going to do a measure of 5, and a measure of 4, and 2 measures of 1. So it's like this. Dun da 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 da. 4 4 1. Here we go. Bum da 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 da. And we're going 5 4 1. Da 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 da. Now, if I did that, I'll bet you some of you could improvise right now around that idea. You probably have that language in your head. So I'm going to start the chords, and I'm going to say, somebody improvise, and you just stand up, and
Oh, yeah.
you can do it. You can do it. I'm going to start the chords. Da 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 da. We'll do it one time just for the chords. Do 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 da 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 da. Da 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 da. Anybody want to try improvising? Yep. Good. Somebody take some nice high notes way up in the top. Right? Yeah, I'm hearing some. Come on, keep it up. Yeah, you got it. You're doing it. Now, opera singer, what I want is, I used to have a lover, my lover just ran away. Okay, here you go. Okay, sing it again, here we go. Ain't got no lover, ain't got a lover, got no joy today. Ready? Ain't got a lover. Now, this time, sing the same words, and play with it, have a little fun with it, go all over the scale with it, really knock around, really sing those blues, okay? And let's get some good cello backing here, maybe even some plucked doom, 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 doom. 1 and 2, and here we go, and... Yeah, oh, come on, come on. Jeff, come here. Sit down, buddy. You got the top. One more time. There was some really cool stuff going on over there. I tell you what, somebody was getting hot. I tell you what, somebody was getting hot. Now, one of the things that worked so well, when I called Jeff over and said, sit down, you got the top, Jeff knows the language, right? So he knows all the notes that work in this language. And he knows what chords I'm going to play, and he can anticipate what's going to happen, just like some of you were learning that language, and you could anticipate where it was going, and you were singing blues licks that some professional blues singer would sing, because you knew the language, you heard what was going on, and you caught onto it, and you bought it. I have to tell you a funny blues story. I'm leaving from here tomorrow. Beverly and I are leaving from here to go to New York City. And we are going to spend Monday night, when Broadway is dark, we are going to spend Monday night with about 40 Broadway artists, actors, singers, musicians, producers, people who are attached to the Broadway world. These are some people who, many of them grew up in a faith community. They have left it. They have felt like the church didn't get them, or that the church meets on Sunday morning when they've done a late show on Saturday and they've got a matinee on Sunday afternoon. They just simply can't get up. So we these friends of ours and Beverly and I started this thing called Inspire. And we bring about 40 people, which is a good sized house church, right? We bring about 40 people and we gather in a big living room in a beautiful brownstone home on Monday night when Broadway is dark, and we sing, we tell stories, we talk about our lives, we talk about the issues that we're dealing with. Some of our people are veterans, they've been on Broadway for a long time, some of them are brand new people, but we have this kind of house church that goes on a Monday night when Broadway is dark. And the blues story is one of our guys in our group is a composer. He's written the music to Dear Evan Hansen, the musical La La Land, and The Greatest Showman. He is extraordinarily popular and demanded Broadway composer. Everybody wants a piece of him. And so he spends his day with managers and deadlines, and you got to write this for that, you got to write this for that, you got to write that piece for this, that's for this show, and that's due tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. And so he comes to our Monday night group worn out, burned out, overworked, not underpaid. In fact, he and his wife now are trying to figure out what to do with 4 apartments that they own in Manhattan, and they're trying to raise 4 children in the city, kids under 7. Hello, how do you do that? So he comes to our Monday night group, and at the end of the group, he and I sit at 2 keyboards, and we play the blues, and we do it for sometimes a half hour. Just over and over, just playing the blues, playing the blues. And he says, that's the only time I get to just sit and do what I love to do without managers, without deadlines, without expectations. I can just light into that activity and be free and be happy. And so we're going there tomorrow. We get to New York. We have lunch with a dear friend on Saturday. And Sunday, I'm singing at a church in the morning, a Marble Collegiate Church, which is where Norman Vincent Peale used to be. And then I'm singing on Sunday evening at the Bowery Rescue Mission, which is the only rescue mission left in New York. We're singing for the chapel at the men's homeless shelter, and then Monday night is our Broadway gathering. So that's my funny blues story. We've talked about now learning the language. I'd like for us to look at a couple of other structures and formats. See, if you learn the language, you learn what the basic feel is, then you can do a lot. So let's take, for example, one of the really popular kind of folk feelings, okay? And we're going to be in the key of C again, and we'll use this time all the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the trick is going to be figuring out what notes really work well with the chords. I'm going to use, for the purposes of our musicians, I'm going to use a 1 chord and a 6 chord and a 4 chord and a 5 chord. So it's a C, A, F, G. Do some humming. Good. Now, So what we're going to do is, what I'm going to, I will start at the beginning of a story, and we're just going to keep the humming going. And if somebody has something to add, if it would be helpful, actually, if people would come up here and sing into the mic, because otherwise it might be hard to hear you. So what I'd like to do is we're gonna take our time with this. We're gonna keep the humming going, and if somebody has a thing to add, it just come on up here, sing into the mic, and we're not gonna be in a hurry. We're just gonna let it go as long as it needs to, and you'll be thinking of things that you can add probably. Don't be afraid. Will that work for you if you come up here? Okay. So we'll keep the humming going. I'll start the story, and then we'll see where we go from there. And cellos, you're doing such a wonderful job. I wonder, Jeff, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Would it be conceivable to fire up the pipe organ and play some chords on a flute stop?
Yeah.
Just to give us some nice soft kind of accompaniment texture. Just a 1, 6, 4, 5. So just chime in whenever you get the chords, and I may ask you to do a little interlude on the organ. So we'll start like this, and 4, and 1. Start the humming. Ready, go. I started thinking about summers long ago. I started thinking about some of the people I know. I started thinking, you came to mind. I started thinking, summers I've left behind. That's what I was thinking. I'm ready for another singer, whoever wants to come and join. Could use a little drum too. Can you give him a hand, please?
I can't be the only one that does it. I'll bring the microphone to you if it makes it easier.
Who wants to go?
Even if it's just
Somebody be brave. Opera singer, where are you?
She's at the organ.
A cello interlude, please. Yep. Who's going to get brave? Margie Miller, I want you to sing something. Good. Good. See, it wasn't all that hard. You did a very nice thing. When you couldn't think of words, you said, I'm making up words, but you kept on singing. Bravo, bravo. It was a beautiful sound, and it was all your words and all your song for everyone around. And who'll go next? Yep. Yep. Little by little, it's coming together now. Need another singer. How about a little organ interlude? Get a little experimental up there on the organ. Try some movement. Yep. Cello up on some high notes. Ah, yes, go ahead. The angels up there in the balcony giving us a little balcony music. I'm hearing so many wonderful things. Now, if I stop the piano, keep going. Dun, 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 dun. Da 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 dee dee, da 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 da. Da 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 da, da da da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Da 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 dee 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 dee. And we'll bring it to a gentle end one more time. Everybody in playing, everybody playing. All the humming. Everyone singing whatever words you want to sing. And this is the end. Golly gee whiz. Yeah. So are you getting the idea that once you get a feel for the language and the rules of the language which you intuit. Now I could speak long and loud about the rules for that language, about the things that you do and things that you don't do, the things that are ugly and the things that aren't. But you don't need that because once you're hearing it, you've heard that language before. And your brain goes, oh yeah. I've heard songs like, if you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I am gone. Or a zillion songs that have that feel. And so you know instinctively what you need to do. And those of you who are doing the humming, you made all the right choices. You did all the right things. You hummed all the right notes added. So, it's really fun to watch you do that. I'm going to give you one more that's a little more tricky. It's a little trickier. You remember this song? Now, this is in a very interesting scale. We talk in music, and Emma, you've probably heard that. We talk in music about modes. A mode is a particular combination of notes. It's a scale. So you have this. That's a nice major mode. The blues. But now we're going to do a mode that the musicians call the Dorian mode. And you can remember that because it typically starts on D on the piano. Listen to this scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now that's a really strange scale because you tend to want to go, right? That's what feels comfortable. But this, it's a different sound. It has a feel of something more ancient, right? And that I think that's one of the reasons why composers use that mode, because it feels more what's a word I want to use? Not just ancient, but a little classical, a little more mysterious. There's a wonderful French carol. Now that would sound quite different if you did this. Ooh, right? Don't do that to it. You ruin the whole feel of it. It's got to have that sound, right? So we're gonna try this now, and the humming. Cellos, we're gonna use the D minor chord, but the 4 chord, instead of being a G minor chord, is gonna be what? Think about it, cellos. If the 1 chord is a D, F, A, normally your chord on 4 would be a G, B flat, D. But we're in Dorian mode, so it's going to be... What's that chord? It's a G major chord, right? Yeah. Exactly. So that changes, and then we're gonna do an F chord. Dum pa da 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 da. Hum whatever you want to. Just get used to it. Get used to the feel of it. It's a new feel. Just get the sense of just hum. It's a different feel, isn't it? Just feel it in your head. Try it in your voice. We're going to make the words really, really easy. You're going to use your telephone number. We promise we won't memorize it. 415 377 4009. Anybody want to volunteer your telephone number? A little cello interlude, please. Up and down the scale a few times. Here we go. Yeah, and she played all the right notes because she knows the rules of the game now. She knows you can't have that B flat, you have to have a B natural. She knows the rules of the game. Anybody want to try to sing an ooh? Just come to the microphone and sing an ooh, just a ooh, to give it a shot. I hear some wonderful things out there. Who wants to give it a go? She did all the right notes. Give her a hand. She caught it. She knows the rules of the language. That's wonderful. Okay. Let's get another Helmer who wants to do some oohing. Improvise a melody. Who wants to go? Good. You see the way she constructed that melody? She constructed a beautiful melody with that rose and fell because she has it in her head. She knows what that needs to sound like. She knows the rules of the language without ever having to verbalize it. One more hummer. One more ooher. Who's going to go? This is fabulous. Who's going to go? Good. Wonderful. Thank you. Once you know the rules, it's so easy. Now, a lot of us are church musicians, and so we sing a lot of hymns in our churches. Now, I'll bet you if I played you the beginning of a hymn tune that you don't know, you could probably fill in the second line. Watch. Who's got a second line? Yeah, I heard some fourth lines right here in the front row. How about this? Who wants to fill in the second line? Try again. Listen. Somebody give me the next line. You see, he knows the sound, right? He knows the rules of the language. He knows what kind of things come next. And I think a lot of you were thinking lines in your head, but you didn't sing them. But did you have some ideas in your head, some melody going in your head? Yeah, so you did. It's really, again, it's that whole business of knowing the language. It's that whole wonderful thing about knowing the rules of the language. So, the upshot of it is, number one, you're improvising all the time. Number two, if you can know the language, if you listen carefully to music, and it's based on listening. If you listen carefully and know the language, know the rules, you can improvise. 3, if you dare to experiment like we did tonight, you can get better at it. Some of you were getting better as we went along. You were getting more competent as we went along. I could hear it in the room. You were getting more and more competent, especially when you were doing the blues. I mean, you really dug the blues. So I'm going to end now. I'm going to end with one, well, first of all, any questions? Let's do some questions, and then I'm going to end with an improv. Anybody got a question? Don't raise your hand. It won't do you any good.
You spit it out.
Anybody got a question?
Ken, I wanted to say that I'm a foreign language teacher. Do you think that has anything to do
Sure it does.
with my hearing
Yeah.
the music?
Sure it does, because you're accustomed to hearing new things, and you're accustomed to putting together phrases. So, for example, you have a French student who's learning individual words. Bonjour. Well, that's fine. And then somewhere he learns the word mademoiselle. Well, that's a nice word.
My student learned buenos dias.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. He learns Buenos Dias, and then somewhere along the line, he learns, let's say, madre. He learns the adjective me. So he's got these 4 words in his head now, and all of a sudden, he figures out how to say Buenos Dias, mi madre. And all of a sudden, he's improvising in Spanish. Exactly. That's what makes the difference. More comments, questions?
I'll bring the microphone to you if you have it. Anyone have a question?
Okay.
I have one for you. We've talked a lot about the musical aspects of things, but you do a lot of improvisation of lyrics as well. What is your thought process on that?
Good question. Number one, again, it starts with listening. I, all my life, have listened to a lot of poetry. And I've practiced poetry forms. You know, for example, that Shakespeare uses a form called iambic pentameter, right? He uses a 5 feet to a line. Da 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 da. Well, I had a group of friends in graduate school. We would practice doing that in ordinary conversation. I think today I want to go to lunch. I'm going to have the hamburger, I think. And if you cannot go with me today, well, then you'll go with me tomorrow, see? And if you cannot go tomorrow, then I'm going to give you up. You're not my friend. And so we would do this by the hour, sitting in the smoking lounge in the music building at Michigan State University. We'd go back and forth, 3 or 4 or 5 of us, back and forth. And the rest of the students were like, oh, come on, don't do that. Sucks. You practice rhyme. I'm afraid. What's been made? Plans are laid. I'm in the shade. And you keep playing with rhymes like that. Just making up rhymes. They don't make any sense, but it doesn't matter. You're making up rhymes, and you listen to a lot of poetry and study it. And that's for me. That's where it begins. And then the rest of it is having a story. But my first improvisations were pretty lame. I mean, really, really, really lame. I mean, I could do the music, right? But I saw her walking down the street. She was really, really neat. But that's where you start. You start with, it sounds so stupid, but you take the risk and you jump in with both feet, neat street, and then sooner or later, you figure out more advanced stuff. But it all has to do with listening to lyrics, listening to poetry, learning the rules of the language, and then experimenting. That's how it comes to be. Other question?
Ken, this is Margie, and you make it all sound so easy.
Oh, no.
And for the rest of us, this is difficult stuff.
Well, okay, but not impossible.
No, I didn't say impossible, but difficult.
Yep, it is difficult, and it is a challenge, and it's something that if you want to get proficient, if you want to get better at it, my opera singer said, I'd like to sing my own songs. And that's a wonderful goal. If you want to get better at it, then listen, imitate. My piano teacher would say, whenever I learned a piece, so you imitate something that sounds like that. And so the same thing would happen. For instance, if a singer sings this beautiful Handel piece, where'er you walk, cool gale shall fan the glade, trees that song, and then you imitate. I come to you, I come to you in the morning. I come to you, I come without a warning. You see how similar that tune is? So the other one, you imitate, and then you diverge just a little bit, so it becomes yours. And eventually, what you'll find yourself doing is diverging a whole lot and creating your own tune, your own sounds. Every composer has a kind of repertoire of sounds that they like to use. Once you get those sounds in your head, then you can imitate, you can diverge, you can play around with those sounds, and you can take them to different places. So it's really it's baby step. When I first started improvising on the piano, we would learn a piece like this. I'm 8 years old. My teacher says, okay, make up a song that sounds like that. That's a good start, Ken. That's a good start. Well, they got better after a while. One more question. Any more questions? Okay. I'm going to end.
Yes, there's one more.
One more.
I wish my 9-year-old grandson Malcolm were here. You'd be asking him to please sit down. Because he would just be up there the whole time improvising.
Good.
And he's a great musician, but so were his grandparents on both sides of the family. So I'm going to ask you, do you have musicians in your family?
My mom could plunk out hymns on the piano. My Aunt Catherine was a church organist. Not great, but she was a church organist. Most of my mom's sisters had some musical talent. My dad played the trumpet in high school, was a frustrated drummer. When I remember when I was at home playing the piano, Dad would get a wastebasket and a couple of sticks and come on, Ken, let's play. And he would just bang away and have a great time. So yeah, there was music in the family. I'm going to end tonight with an improvisation. I'm going to use a form called fugue. Now, fugue is a musical form where the melody comes. We did this on Sunday. The melody comes in, and then you go on, and it comes in down here. And then it comes in, and it keeps adding and adding and adding. And so I'm going to do that. It's a fairly complicated form of improvising, but again, I learned the rules of the game and learned the rules of the language, and my first fugues were pretty sloppy, but they've gotten better over the years, and I'm still practicing. I still listen to Bach. I listen to fugues all the time and learn more tricks of the trade all the time. So I'm going to ask you to give me 3 notes that I can use to build this fugue, and then we're going to see what we can do. So somebody give me a note.
G.
G, good. Another one? Now give me a tricky one.
C sharp.
C sharp? Okay. Here we go. gentle people, loving people. There's so much in this lovely town to see. Valparaiso, Valparaiso, I shall soon return to you. Valparaiso, Valparaiso, you have blessed me and given your grace and your love, Valparaiso. I am glad to return to you. Well, thank you so much. What a good week. And you're all you're all becoming a group of much better improvisers than you were when you came in here. So there you go. Hum around the house. Listen to a lot of music and hum along with it. See if you can figure out the rules of the language. It's really fun. It's really fun. Thank you again.
Thank you, Ken, for blessing us this week and loving and serving Valparaiso along with us. We are grateful for you. Friends, if you need a continuing education certificate, there are some available as you exit the sanctuary into the narthex. So those forms are available to fill out and to have signed, so you get those credits in. And as you go forth, whether it's music you know or a new song in your head, go forth making a joyful noise to the Lord. And as you go, may the love of God, the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, and the communion and fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all tonight and forever and ever and evermore. Amen.